Hello, superheroes and masterminds. Welcome back to RPG PhD, where we explore the limitless worlds of tabletop role playing games. I'm Dr. Ben, and today we're diving into how to run a thrilling superhero campaign. Whether you're looking to recreate the feats of well known heroes or forge your own legends, this guide will help you navigate the high flying adventures of superhero storytelling. Superhero RPGs are all about capturing the essence of comic book excitement and drama. They provide a unique opportunity to craft narratives of extraordinary characters facing monumental challenges. Let's break down the key elements to consider when running a superhero campaign. First things first, the setting. Superhero worlds are vast and varied. Are you playing in a gritty urban landscape peppered with dark alleys and towering skyscrapers, or a vibrant city with aliens and supernatural phenomena? Establish the tone of your universe, whether it's inspired by classic Golden Age comics or modern cinematic interpretations. When launching a superhero RPG campaign, one of the first and most crucial tasks is to construct a compelling universe where your stories will unfold. This universe sets the stage for all the heroic actions and dramatic narratives to come. Here's how you can create a vibrant, immersive world that captures the essence of superhero lore. Decide on the world's tone and scale. Begin by determining the tone of your superhero universe. Is it a dark world where heroes face moral quandaries and the public is skeptical of their motives? Or is it a bright, optimistic setting where superheroes are celebrated and villains are clearly nefarious? The scale of your world also matters. Are the heroes city defenders, or do they protect the entire planet or even the universe? Develop the setting's history. Craft a history that supports the existence of superheroes. How did they come to be? Was there a specific event that triggered their emergence, like an alien artifact landing on Earth, or a sudden mutation affecting a segment of the population? Establish key historical events that have shaped society's view of heroes and villains. Define the socio-political landscape. Superheroes influence and are influenced by the world around them. What is the role of government, law enforcement, and the public in your universe? Are there laws governing the actions of superheroes? Consider creating organizations that could either support or regulate superhero activities, such as a government agency or a secret society. Create iconic locations. Every memorable superhero universe has iconic locations, be they cities, hidden bases, or alien worlds. Design urban landscapes complete with bustling metropolises like New York or Gotham, which can be centers of heroic activity. Include detailed locales such as a high-tech headquarters for your heroes, secretive villain layers, or mythical realms that can be central to your campaign's narrative. Incorporate advanced technologies or magic. Decide on the role of technology or magic in your world. In many superhero universes, advanced technology and mysticism exist side by side. Determine how accessible such elements are and their impact on society. Are super gadgets available only to the rich or specific agencies, or has technology uplifted humanity as a whole? Consider multi-dimensional conflicts. Not all conflicts in the superhero world are about physical battles. Political intrigue, ethical dilemmas, and personal struggles can all play significant roles. Design conflicts that challenge your heroes in various ways, testing their morals, intellects, and emotions just as much as their physical prowess. By meticulously crafting each aspect of your universe, you provide a rich, dynamic setting where complex hero narratives can unfold. Superhero games are defined by their characters. Encourage players to create heroes who aren't just powerful, but have rich backstories and compelling motivations. What drives them? What are their personal stakes? Integrate their origin stories and personal conflicts into the broader narrative to give each character moments to shine. Character creation is a cornerstone of any role-playing game, but in a superhero campaign, it takes on an extra layer of importance. Superhero characters are more than just their powers. They're complex figures with rich backstories, personal motivations, and moral complexities. Here's how to guide your players through creating memorable and effective superhero characters. Start with a concept. Encourage players to begin with a broad concept before diving into specifics. A character concept is a simple idea or theme that defines who the superhero is at their core. Is the character a vigilante seeking justice for a personal loss, a cosmic guardian tasked with protecting the galaxy, or a transformed scientist using their powers to explore new frontiers? This concept will guide many of the decisions made during the character creation process. Define the origin story. Every superhero has an origin story that explains how they acquired their powers and why they chose to become a hero. This backstory should provide not only a basis for the character's abilities, but also their initial motivations. Did they gain powers through an accident, an experiment, or were they born with them? How did these circumstances affect their outlook on life and their decision to use their powers for heroism? Develop character motivations. Beyond the initial inspiration to become a superhero, characters need personal motivations that drive their actions within the campaign. These motivations can evolve over time and can be as varied as seeking redemption, protecting loved ones, or striving for justice. Understanding these motivations helps players make consistent character-driven decisions throughout the game. Choose powers thoughtfully. Superpowers are a defining feature of superhero characters, but they should complement the character's backstory and personality. Powers can also come with limitations or costs that add depth to the character. For example, a hero who can manipulate time might suffer aging effects, or a telepath who must deal with constant noise from others' thoughts. These limitations prevent characters from becoming overpowered and introduce interesting challenges to overcome. Along those lines, incorporate flaws and vulnerabilities. No hero is without flaws or vulnerabilities, which are critical for creating drama and tension. These can be physical, such as a specific weakness to a certain element or condition, or psychological, like a fear or a moral code that can be exploited. Flaws make characters more relatable and human, providing opportunities for growth and development. Design a heroic identity. Many superheroes have dual identities, one as a regular person and another as a hero. Consider how these identities interact and conflict with each other. Crafting a secret identity adds an additional layer of tension and provides narrative hooks for personal drama, such as the classic scenario of balancing hero duties with personal relationships. Connect characters to the world. Ensure that each character has ties to the game world. This could mean relationships with NPCs, roles in specific organizations, or attachments to particular locations. These connections make the world feel more real and give the characters immediate stakes in the campaign's unfolding events. By guiding players through these detailed steps in character creation, you set the stage for a superhero RPG that's rich with storytelling potential and dramatic possibilities. Each character's unique attributes, motivations, and challenges will contribute to a vibrant, engaging narrative that everyone at the table can get excited about. Balancing powers in a superhero RPG can be tricky. You want your players to feel unstoppable at times, but challenged at others. Implement mechanics that allow for spectacular displays of power, yet still pose meaningful threats to the heroes. This could include limitations or consequences for using their abilities. In a superhero RPG, powers are not just tools for resolving conflicts, they are integral to character identity and the story's thematic depth. Balancing these powers ensures that all players feel valuable and challenges remain engaging. Here's how to manage superpowers effectively in your campaign. Categorizing powers. Begin by categorizing powers into different types, such as physical enhancement, strength, speed, manipulation abilities, control over elements, telekinesis, psychic powers, mind reading, precognition, and more, whatever categories you want or that are appropriate for your game. This categorization helps in understanding the scope and potential impact of each power type, facilitating easier balancing among characters. Setting power limits. Define clear limits to what powers can and cannot do. This could mean setting boundaries on how often powers can be used, their range, or their effects on the environment and other characters. For example, a character might only be able to use their most powerful ability once a day, or need to recharge their powers with specific resources. Scalability of powers. Ensure powers are scalable with character development. As characters grow and experience, their abilities should also evolve, opening up new possibilities and challenges. This scalability helps maintain balance as characters progress through different levels of play. Balancing cost and benefit. Introduce costs or consequences for using powers. These can be immediate, like draining a character's energy, or long-term, such as drawing unwanted attention from powerful enemies. Costs add a strategic layer to using powers, where players must weigh the benefits of using an ability against its potential repercussions. Integrating weaknesses. Every superpower should have a counter or weakness that can be exploited. This vulnerability adds tension and uncertainty to encounters, ensuring that no single character can dominate every situation. For example, a character with the ability to manipulate metal might be powerless in environments devoid of such material. By carefully considering these aspects of powers and balance, you can run a superhero RPG that is not only fair and enjoyable, but also rich in strategic depth and narrative potential. This careful balancing act ensures that all characters can shine and contribute meaningfully to the adventures they undertake together. No superhero story is complete without a memorable antagonist. Design villains that are not only powerful but have depth and an agenda that can be understood, if not sympathized with. Their plans should present complex challenges that test the hero's morals and decision making, not just their powers. In any superhero RPG, villains and the conflicts they bring are as critical as the heroes themselves. A well-crafted antagonist can elevate the entire gaming experience, providing depth, tension, and meaningful challenges. Here's how to design compelling villains and conflicts in your superhero campaign. Create villains with motives as compelling and intricate as those of your heroes. They should have clear, understandable reasons for their actions, whether it's a desire for revenge, a misguided sense of justice, or a goal that they believe is for the greater good. These motivations make villains more relatable and their confrontations with heroes more engaging. Personal connections. Intertwine the villain's backstory with that of one or more heroes. This personal connection can add a layer of emotional engagement and complexity to the conflict. For example, the villain could be a former ally or relative who turned to the dark side, making their encounters with the heroes more intense and personal. Power parity and counterplay. Design villains whose powers challenge and counteract those of the heroes. This creates a need for the heroes to strategize and innovate rather than relying solely on their strengths. For instance, if the heroes are predominantly physical powerhouses, a villain who can manipulate minds or control emotions can present a unique challenge. Recurring villains. Not all villains need to be defeated permanently the first time they appear. Recurring villains who grow and evolve alongside the heroes can develop into rich, multifaceted characters. Allow these villains to learn from their encounters with the heroes, adapting their strategies and tactics over time. Moral dilemmas. Craft scenarios where the hero's morals are tested. This could involve villains putting innocents in danger, presenting situations where the heroes must choose between bad and worse outcomes, or even tempting the heroes to betray their ethical codes. These dilemmas can lead to compelling storytelling and character development. Sympathetic villains. Consider introducing villains who aren't wholly evil and might even have noble goals. These characters can create internal conflict within the party and amongst the NPCs in your world, as different people may have varying sympathies and ideas about how to handle the villain. Non-traditional conflicts. Not all conflicts need to be physical confrontations. Intellectual battles, public relations wars, legal challenges, and emotional manipulation can all serve as engaging conflicts that challenge heroes in different ways. Superheroes often work in teams, and so should your players. Encourage teamwork by designing threats and scenarios that require multiple heroes to solve. This promotes collaborative gameplay and lets players strategize and combine their characters' strengths. In superhero role-playing games where characters often possess diverse and potent abilities, team dynamics play a crucial role in shaping both the narrative and gameplay. Effectively incorporating team dynamics can elevate the cooperative experience, making each session more engaging and memorable. Here's how to skillfully weave team dynamics into your superhero campaign. Define team roles. Begin by helping players define their characters' roles within the team. Each character should have a clear function that contributes to the group, such as the leader, the strategist, the powerhouse, or the moral compass. These roles can help guide players in how they might react in various situations and how they interact with other team members. Encourage specialized abilities. Design scenarios that require specific abilities only certain team members possess. This not only highlights each character's unique contributions, but also promotes dependency among team members. For instance, only the character with hacking skills can bypass a high-tech security system, or only the telepath can communicate secretly with a hostage. Create synergistic opportunities. Develop combat scenarios and puzzles that can be solved more effectively through teamwork. Encourage players to combine their powers in creative ways. For example, a character who controls elements could use water to conduct electricity from another character's electric powers, or a speedster could distribute gadgets created by the tech genius. Foster interpersonal relationships. Beyond the battlefield, encourage the development of personal relationships between characters. These can include friendships, rivalries, mentorships, or romantic relationships. Rich interpersonal dynamics add depth to the narrative and can influence decision-making and role-playing in meaningful ways. Introduce team challenges. Occasionally, present challenges that test the team's cohesion and ability to work together. This could be a moral dilemma that divides opinions, a crisis that splits the team geographically, or an enemy that specifically targets the hero's teamwork and strategies. Conflict resolution. Superhero teams, like any group, will have conflicts. Include opportunities for characters to address and resolve these conflicts through role-playing. This not only enhances the realism of the narrative, but also helps in character development and team bonding. By focusing on these aspects of team dynamics, you ensure that your superhero RPG campaign isn't just a collection of individual heroes, but a cohesive unit that operates effectively together. This approach not only makes challenges more interesting and diverse, but also deepens the role-playing experience for each player. Remember, running a superhero RPG is about more than just the battles. It's about telling compelling stories of heroes and the world they protect. Thank you for joining me in today's heroic journey. If you're excited to start your own superhero campaign or have tips from your adventures, drop a comment below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. It's much appreciated. Until next time, keep those capes ready and dice rolling. Thanks for watching. See you next time.